Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel. I'm warbossfitz, and today we're going to do a little bit of a sit and talk. So today we're going to be talking about the Battle Brothers. I've heard a lot of people online saying that all the Battle Brother armies feel the same. Now there is multiple levels of customization inside the Battle Brothers armies, but they all kind of have the same things in common. They all kind of struggle on the board. At least they do around here. We play games at 2,000 points. That's the recommended game size. That's like the tournament game size that OPR has been using. And they tend to struggle at that. Unless you... There's ways to make it work, but you have to build things very specifically to make it work. And I've heard that even though there are differences between the armies, that they feel the same. So we're gonna go over the different ways that the Battle Brothers armies are different from each other, and we're also going to talk about some other things that I want to include in there. So there are three ways that the Battle Brothers are different from each other. There is the army rules, whatever the overarching army rules are for that list. Then you have special units in the different Battle Brothers lists, and then there are different spells in the spell list. Now, I want to add a fourth layer to that. I want to add in specialized equipment. That's going to add another layer of differences to the army, and I think it's going to be able to add in some of the force multiplier stuff that got taken away with 3.5.3. Now, I know there's a beta going on right now. I am actively not looking at the beta yet because it is a months-long process. This is the first month of it. I'm expecting massive changes the next month that it comes out. So that's when I'm going to start looking at stuff. Right now, it is just a scattershot. I'm not interested quite yet. I don't want to do another 3 months of live streaming. That nearly killed us. So let's start looking at the different Battle Brothers. All right, we have Battle Brothers Vanilla. We'll call this the baseline for the rest of the different flavors of Battle Brothers to build on. One thing I do think should change, though, is the army rule for the Battle Brothers. Instead of being the 4-up to become unstunned at the beginning of the turn, I think they should get the +1 morale rule that the Human Defense Force has, because in all of our different play testing and games of Battle Brothers stuff that I've even seen played, most of the stuff has Fearless, so it's hard for you to even get stunned, and usually something dies before it gets stunned anyway, so I think the +1 morale would just feel better. So that's enough of that one. Let's move to our first candidates. We're just going to go alphabetically, starting off with the Blood Brothers. Their special rule is Bloodborne, unmodified 6s to hit, get +1 attack. Now this sounds an awful lot like Primal from the Saurian Star Host. Because it is. It's the same rule, just with a different name. We won't worry about what I think should be the special rule there now, because this is what we have. They're special units. They got the Blood Death Brothers. They are Blood Brothers and Blood Assault Brothers with regeneration with less options. They just come with regeneration already attached. You can put the jetpack on if you want. They're just a more narrowed down squad of that. And then we have the Blood Guard Brothers. They are Assault Brothers with jetpacks already equipped, and they can get more specialized melee weapons. Like they can get the fists, and they can all get plasma pistols. I know it sounds like I'm kind of minimalizing those units, but this is brass tacks. That's what the rules for these units are. Now the next part is what I am proposing. New specialist equipment for the Blood Brothers. I am taking inspiration from the inspiration of the Battle Brothers, which are the Space Marines of Warhammer 40k. So, leaning on that with that in mind, I propose a couple of new different things. The Blood Jetpack. If a Blood Brothers unit takes a jetpack, it gives them ambush and flying like normal, but it also gives them Furious. Because the Blood Angels are known for their assault squads that are jumping through the air and landing on top of stuff and beating the crap out of it in melee, I think Furious attached to the jetpack is a nice way for us to get that back involved in the army. Next piece of equipment, I want the Blood Death Brothers to get a melee option that gives them shred. It'd be like a piece of equipment that you can put on, like the squad sergeant gives a shred in melee buff to the squad, or shredded melee aura to the squad. It's just, they're blood death brothers. You expect them to be a little bit crazy. Shred, I think, fills the quota for that. And then the last piece of equipment, again, in the whole vein of special units getting cool stuff, I propose that the detachment banner inside the Blood Guard Bros, instead of the courage buff it gives out a Bloodborne boost. It'd be like primal boost buff, where on a 5 and 6, they get an extra attack. I think with all these things combined, you could have an army of Blood Death Brothers and Blood Guard Brothers that someone coming over from 40k into OPR would look at that and be like, yes, this is what the Blood Brothers should be doing. That's all I got for the Red Boys, so let's close the book on that one. And next we're going to the Dark Bros. So the Dark Bros, their special rule is Darkborn. -4-inch range when you're shooting at them, and -2-inch when you are charging them. They're special units. Well, they're not particularly special units, but they're special things inside of already existing units. Their destroyers get rapid ambush, so that's attached to their armor. If ever you take a destroyer inside the Dark Bros, they get to ambush in on turn number 1, which is very nice. They have an option in their bike squads to become black bikers, where they get Vanguard, which is they have a 9-inch on deployment move, kind of like the Soul Snatchers do with their whole army. Interesting concept, but it's on a faster unit, so I never use it. And then they have a Dark Shroud Speeder. It's a speeder with very limited weapons that gives that a stealth buff. Yeah, I've never seen that on the board. So what I propose for the Dark Bros for special equipments, for the Dark Destroyers, they already have rapid ambush. I want to add sturdy onto the destroyers. This is an army that is known for its destroyers, making them all a little bit extra hard to take out. I think is a really cool idea. And ambushing in on turn 1, the sturdy is, has the 9-inch buffer to it. So if you ambush in right up in the enemy's grill, sturdy's not going to take effect. But if you ambush in with some guns, 18, 20, 24 inches away, you'll get the effects of sturdy. So it's a cool little trade-off they got going there. Or just even make it an option for the squad, something that gives them sturdy. The bikes, they do have the option already to get dual plasma guns on there, which is great. If you want something that's going to punch through things fast, dual plasmas on your bike squads. They are expensive, but they get the job done. And then I want to propose a new piece of character equipment, or a new piece of equipment for like a sergeant, for an incense brazier. Something that gives them Darkborn boost, which is -8-inch range when shooting, and -4-inch charging at them as they're covered in the incense smoke. It's scrambling enemy sensors, and it's just hard to see through in general. All right, next in alphabetical order, we are looking at the Knight Brothers. I kind of copped out on this one. Honestly, they are different enough. They all have 2 shots when they're shooting. They are very expensive for what they do. I have never run them here in the garage because I can't find a list that I can't find a list that even like functions in my head because things are so expensive. So if you guys are a Knight Brothers player and you want me to build a list for the Knight Brothers, go ahead and put it down in the description below. Put a link down there, or just use the share from Army Forge so I can take a look at a list that works, because nothing in our local meta works with Knight Brothers. Next we have the Watch Brothers. Their special rule is Watchborn. They have versatile attacks, meaning they get either AP +1 or +1 to hit. Their units are also very different. They are 3-man squads as compared to what the Battle Brothers have. They're all highly customizable. I've ran a few of these. I've had some good success with a list back in like regular old 3.5, not the 3.5.3. I haven't tried them yet. I've avoided Battle Brothers entirely as we've gone through so far in this version of the game. Now let's look at the special equipment I want to propose on there. I love the concept of the Death Watch, and I have like the Death Watch RPG that I've run, so a little bit of an in-depth knowledge on these guys. I want to see a different ammo option they have. Like something, an add-on for just the regular rifles. Because quite honestly, with all of the Battle Brothers, I don't see a reason to run regular rifles. Paying that many points for something that fires one shot is just foreign to my brain. But with this, maybe it'll change things up a little bit. So this will be an add-on for the rifles. And you would buy these individually, like select a rifle with this. Like poison shots, we just give them Bane, that's easy. Armor piercing, you put the crack one on there, or I think it's crack, the one that gives like plus AP2 if the enemy has defense 2 or 3. And then incendiary rounds, let's give all the rifles reliable. So they already have versatile attack. If you give them reliable ammunition in their rifles, they're going to be taking the extra AP from the versatile attacks. That's the only thing I could really see that I would want to change with the Watch Brothers, is just make the rifles a little bit better, because their stuff is so customizable. I have absolutely no reason to keep a rifle in these guys' hands. But if you give this ammunition option, I could see it. I can see the ammunition option on top of the regular ones, like if you have the fusion, the plasma, or the flamethrower upgrade. Just make this a piece of equipment. Just pop, put it right in the unit. And then the last OPR flavor of Battle Brother is the Wolf Brother. So currently their special rule is a D3-inch teleport. I didn't even notice that it changed because if you guys remember, we were deep into the 3.5 beta. I don't know when it changed. I still thought they had their cool rules from back then, but I just remember the entire Wolf Brother community being up in arms the entire time. So Tano, I applaud you that you're able to keep track of what the Wolf Brother community wants, or even if you're not able to, you've been able to fake it this long. So their special units, they have the Wolf Rookies, which are just a cheaper, crappier version of the Wolf Brothers. Just again, inspired from 40K. That's where they put their scouts, as they put them into oh god, it's been long enough I forgot what they're called, but they're just like they're rookie squads, or something like Blood Claw squads, I think. I could be wrong. Then they have the Werewolf Brothers, which are a kind of advanced assault squad. They have the Hunting Wolves, so they have their own cheaper unit that they can put on the board to increase their activation count. And the Hunting Wolves are not bad on their own. And then they have the Wolf Riders, which is very... I mean, I feel like they're compensating for something. But it's a 40k unit, so of course it's in OPR. They're the only Battle Brothers army that has heavy cavalry in it. So for their proposed equipment that I want to put out there, I am not sure what the vision of the Wolf Brothers is right now, but I'm just going to give it a shot here. I want the heroes to have an option to take a talisman that gives the enemy exhaustion on the charge. Like if this hero and his unit charge a unit, that unit gets hit with exhaustion, or it could just be an exhaustion mark. An exhaustion, I was looking it up on Army Forge. I forgot what exactly it's called, but it's the one where the enemy counts as fatigued. I remember that rule from somewhere. I just don't remember where. I think that'd be real cool, kind of like a we are scary effect whenever the hero is charging in. Or it gives like the simulation of some frost type weapons, like freezing the enemy in place. And that would be cool because it only works when like they charge, as opposed when other things charge them. They don't have counter like they did in the past. But this is something that's kind of like that, at least along the same lines. And then also I want to see some equipment that gives a bonus that's kind of simulating the quests and sagas that the characters would be on. Like if they kill a unit, they get a bonus that would be like regeneration or AP1 or +1 to hit after they destroy a unit. So like we saw this in the last iteration, like sometime in the last beta. Nobody really liked it that much because nobody wanted to keep track of stuff like that, or they didn't want to have that behind like a paywall of killing a unit. But I think for the Wolf Brothers, when they are trying to build their grand sagas, I think that'd be one of the only places that it would be fluffy enough to make sense. And so that's the last flavor of Battle Brother that comes from OPR, and you thought we were done. Oh, no, we're not done. If we're going to be going down the rabbit hole of the extra equipment and stuff, there's some other options I have for Battle Brothers. Now, there are different flavors and different colors, if you will. Now, I have rule suggestions for 5 more flavors. No reason why there's 5. I just like the number 5. So, in no particular order, let's go to the next one. We have the Lightning Brothers. Their special rule for the whole army is going to be agile. They're going to be getting +2 inch movements on advance, rush, and charge. For special units for these guys, I want to see an additional bike squad option. Not like an additional option for the bike squad, but a complete separate bike squad. Make it like based around melee or something. This way you can pull off 6 bike squads and have 3 heroes at 2,000 points for a full bike army. That gives you some choice in what you want to do with them. Now, as far as special equipment for the army, I want their assault squads with the jetpacks to get an option to have crossing attacks. So they're going to be agile, so they're going to be faster than the normal assault brothers with jetpacks. So if they fly over top of something, give them a crossing attack. That way it simulates them, swiping down as they go on to actually kill their actual target. And then I would also give the bikes the option to buy heavy impact, because bikes have the impact already, but I mean they're Battle Brothers. It's a bike that weighs like half a metric ton, if not a whole metric ton, slamming into something. I think heavy impact makes sense. The next flavor of Battle Brothers I want to propose is a yellow flavor. I'm gonna call them the Fortress Bros. And their special rule is going to be fortified, because Fortress Bros fortified, it just works. Special units. I want to have a shield wall type of spell, which is a Battle Brother squad, a regular old Battle Brother squad, but they come with shielded. And as far as the special equipment goes, I want to do something like the Watch Brothers, where they get different ammo that gives them shred, just to kind of simulate being very good with their rifles, being able to pick out, weak points in armor, or just hitting a thing more times with their rifles. And also another thing I want to do is I want to take the one of their banners and give a squad relentless if it doesn't move. That way it represents them being fortified, they're holding the line, guns out, fingers laying down on the trigger. Ammunition doesn't count in this army, just bop, 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 bop. So relentless, I think, is pretty cool to represent that. The next flavor is another darker metallic flavor. We're going to call them the Mech Bros. Their special rule is going to be a 6-up save and a 6-up additional save because they have mechanical parts. And for their special units, I want to give them robots. Something like the Ogre Bots for HDF, just Battle Bro flavored. Another support type robot squad that carries heavy weapons. You can pretty much port over the Machine Cult Gunner squad. And hell, let's port over the combat robot too. This will be a Battle Brothers army that has robot support. And now special equipment. We're going to have technician tools. Give a member of a squad mend. That way it can be helpful running around with robots, fixing up parts that are falling off of there. And maybe a reanimation rule for these would be cool. Because, most of them are mechanical anyways. You shoot somebody in the mechanical bits, it's gonna swear a bit, stand back up, and keep fighting. And just Battle Brothers that get back up like the robots do right now, which it's on a 5-up, so it's not guaranteed, but it is an interesting concept in my head. Is it fair? I don't know. I'm running out of vibes here. Next flavor is going to be spicy green color. We're gonna call them the Dragon Brothers. Now, for special rules for these, I want to kind of take the Blessed Sisters Devout rule and name it something else and give it to these. So on a 6-up, they're going to get an extra hit. I wanted to make something flame-based, but I didn't want an army special rule that kind of narrowed down to a specific type of weapon. So we're just going to go with Devout. Now, for their special rule, Dragon Guard. Make a squad with reliable Blast 3 melee weapons as they're running in there with flamethrower-based friggin' hammers or something. And then give them an option to make them fusion-based as well, or fusion-based instead, to give them Deadly 3 and reliable. I know that's going to be expensive as all heck, but it's on brand. And then for special equipment, I want to be able to put something in squads that give them an extra 6-inch range to their weapons. Just a doodad or something will make up some technobabble word. Hey, look, the flamethrowers can fire extra far. Maybe have a different option with it where they get the extra AP to their weapons to make the flamethrowers extra hot. You're shooting blue flames. I think that'd be cool. I don't want to fight against it with all my orc boys, but in a vacuum, I think that's pretty nice. And then finally, we got the Crow Brothers. Their special rule is going to be stealth, because of course it is. Now, if they're special units, I want to have like an infiltration type squad. It'll be like you could do infiltrating snipers, or infiltrating like scout squad, or infiltrating assault squad. Just sneaky beakies. Another option I have is the Crow Guard Squad. There'll be a 3-man squad with dual energy claws that can take jetpacks. Just because I think it looks cool. And then for the special equipment in the army, I like the ambush piercing. I think we should be able to put ambush piercing shot on there, or ambush piercing assault, just to represent the catching the enemy by complete surprise. Just give it a little bit of extra AP whenever you pop in. And then also, I put a mark in here. I want to see the sniper squads have an exhausting mark, like the Wolf Bros did when they charge. I want to see a mark from the sniper squads to be able to shoot at somebody and like represent pinning them down before the rest of the army gets there and smacks into them. And so those are the different flavors of Battle Brothers that I think should come into one-page rules to increase the complexity of the armies, give some more equipment to differentiate stuff, like branch down different paths, and I think we'll just give a better overall experience, allowing the Battle Brother players to really hammer down a specific strategy they want to go towards. Now, is it going to be balanced? Again, I don't know. I'm going on vibes here. I'm a vibe type player, if you haven't noticed by now. I play on absolute vibes. But that'll be it for me today. So I thank you guys for showing up. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Next week, I'm going to be doing the Havoc Disciples. Don't think I forgot about them. They have some customization they can have done to them as well. And so until then, I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.